Just perfect in Lawrence, Kansas. It's a picture-perfect Saturday afternoon for football. And folks, as an added bonus, we've got two perfectly perfect teams. Who would have thought? Sellout in Lawrence. Duke won the toss. They decided they want to take the option to the second half. So Kansas will start on offense. The touchback puts the ball at the 25-yard line. The story with Kansas football offensively, Jalon Daniels has been just a maestro this year.
I mean, special, true dual threat. And a lot of people are going to watch his tape and watch some of his games and say, oh yeah, maybe he's just a runner. Absolutely not. If you stack that box, he's going to be able to drop back and tear you apart as a passer. He plays on time, he plays with rhythm, and obviously those legs are going to help him make that third play.
And he is helped by a phenomenal offensive line. They start with the fullback in the backfield. First play of the game is a handoff to Devin Neal. Neal has 10 yards. Stiff arm to get out of bounds. A pickup of 11. Let's take a look at the lineups. We start with Kansas. We told you about that offensive line. Bostic, Pooney, Nowitzki, Ford, and Cabledew. They have not allowed a sack this year.
And the young quarterback is helping him out too, right? He's moving around, and anytime they do make a mistake maybe or miss a block, he's able to save them with his legs and get the ball out.
Offense hadn't been a problem at all for Kansas. They averaged 51 points per game. This is the keeper. Daniels powers to the 45. So a gain of 11 on the first play, a gain of 9 on the second play. Neal and Lachlan are in the backfield next to Daniels. Now they split Lachlan out. Look at that offensive line. Pure pocket and a pure taser shot all the way down to Trevor Cardell. 22 yards on that pitch and catch. That was an absolute laser beam from the right arm of Jalon Daniels.
I mean, how about Jalon Daniels getting through his entire read, going to hit his tight end on kind of a post-basic cross, and the accuracy and ball placement, that's good defense. That's very good defense, but he's able to put that ball in there. He is exceptional. To start this game, that's exactly what I saw on film, getting through full field reads and then getting to the right guy.
Here's Neal. Another chunk play for the Jayhawks. Look at Neal go inside the 10. Darius Joyner saved the touchdown, but it's a gain of 24.
You gotta love an athletic offensive lineman, and you're allowing guys to pull around, pin and pull, and then Devin Neal. We didn't talk about him much in the open because of Daniels, but Devin Neal's a guy who played as a true freshman a year ago, has changed his body a bit, lost some of that high school kid, 17-year-old baby fat, and he is running the ball extremely well this year as well. A big part of why this running game is so explosive.
Neal still in the game along with Daniel Hishaw now in the backfield. And not much there for Hishaw. That's the first real stop of any sort for this Duke defense. Oben, Carter, Franklin, and Anthony up front. Anthony is a true freshman starting on the defensive line. Getting Dorian Mausi back is Duke. That's a good thing. Wasn't able to play last week against North Carolina A&T. And there's your secondary. These 11 defenders for Duke, they have been very opportunistic. They've been ball hawks. They've been winning the turnover battle all season long. They'd love one right here. Second down and goal. Daniels keeps it. Daniels to the 4. 5 yards and opening up third down. One thing you'll notice, folks, keep a close eye on Jalon Daniels. He is Houdini with the football. You just don't know where it is sometimes. Yeah, I mean, his ball handling is something I noticed right away on film. And I'm just telling you, it looks like he gives the ball every single play. And for a defense, that is devastating. That's a great tackle by Datron Young, getting him down in a one-on-one situation. Quarterback keeper. Daniels lunging down to the 1. Oh my goodness, he's about a sunflower seed away from a touchdown.
I don't even think Coach Leipold is going to think about this. And I'm going to keep the ball in Daniels' hands. This is going to be a read option between Daniels and Neal.
There it is. They give it to Neal. Did he? He did not. Blue Devils bend but don't break, and Kansas denied the first time with the ball. We are back. Look where that ball is. Kansas Jayhawks went 74 yards first time they had the ball, that then were denied on the 1 yard line. And now they're on defense. Duke's first offensive play is just a quarterback keeper trying to keep the football away from the goal line.
Take a look in the middle of the screen. Dorian Mayusi, who didn't play a week ago, had some injury deals, but he comes in and redirects and stops Neal right before he's able to get to the goal line. How about having your defensive leader, emotional leader from Detroit, Michigan, back in the lineup? Pays big dividends here early.
Gain of 1 on first down. Carry for Jordan Waters. Uses his 214-pound body to get out to the 5 yard line. Riley Leonard, sophomore from Fairhope, Alabama, just outside of Mobile, is the quarterback.
Man, loved talking to him a week ago. Just so bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, right? Just happy to be here and really playing really good football. Now, in this situation, 3rd and 3, they are not afraid with his back against the wall to drop back and pass. We saw a couple weeks ago throw a nice deep ball to convert.
Duke 3-0, coming off a win last week at home against North Carolina A&T. From his own end zone, Leonard, who can really run, is not going to get to the first down line. Gang tackle and brought down at the 9. Leonard got hit hard.
Well, when you got big 30 coming to hit you, Rich Miller, who is the team's emotional leader. A year ago when we talked to the coaching staff, they said if we had a bunch of Rich Millers and could bottle him up and put him all over the field, we would be a much better team. Well, this year, a lot of people are feeding off of his energy, his intensity, and that's why this Kansas defense is playing a lot better football.
Porter Wilson from his own end zone. That is a phenomenal boot all the way down to the 28-yard line. Nice return, and it's O.J. Burrows on the return. Two high-scoring offenses not able to score the first time they touch the football. It is a scoreless game.
You have to be on the same page on offense. On offense, you had that 1 interception a week ago because they weren't on the same page. And for Kansas, you got to start fast. They started this 2 games down 14 as you get a great run up the middle by Daniels. And then you got to disguise intentions for the young quarterback, Riley Leonard, and make sure he doesn't see what's coming.
Jalon Daniels and that Kansas offense was close to perfect on their opening drive with everything they did except for scoring. They stalled at the 1 yard line. Now they've got it back. They pick up 10 yards on first down. So a fresh set of downs. Kansas averaging close to 8 yards per carry early in the ball game.
I mean, that matches their 7-point whatever on the season.
Oh, and a rare inaccurate throw from Daniels. Trying to squeeze it to Quentin Skinner. It is 2nd down at 10.
What you saw last week was Duke bat some balls down at the defensive line position. And so when you're a quarterback and you've seen a team that is good at batting balls down, it makes you a little weary when you're throwing those slant routes over the middle. And I think that's a lot of what you saw there on that last throw. But for Daniels, you got to make sure you just throw these balls consistently and don't worry about batted balls.
Making it through the first line is Hishaw, gets to the 40-yard line, tackled by Darius Joyner. But he's going to be short of the line to gain. It'll bring up 3rd down and 3.
That Darius Joyner is a tackling machine. I mean, I love to watch this young kid fly out of the middle and make tackles and make play after play. And in the passing game, this Duke defense as a whole is very good at pass breakups. They break this ball up in the passing game, and they're going to have an opportunity here on 3rd and 3.
9 runs, just 2 passes in our first quarter for Kansas. 3rd down and 3. Hishaw. It's going to bring up a decision. He didn't get there. It's 4th down. Devin, what's the thought process here with Kansas?
I think you kick this ball away and make Duke drive the field, right? They didn't prove that they can do it. I kick this ball away, try to pin him inside the 10, inside the 5, and make the young quarterback make some plays.
Well, Lance Leipold doesn't agree. He has the offense out there. They're going to go for it on 4th down.
So they're going to give him a gain of nothing on that last play, and it's going to stay at 4th and 3. Now, you have the quarterback to do it, right? That triple option, those different options are all there.
3rd down, straight drop back. This is Neal. And he's got the first down. Brandon Johnson holding on for dear life, but just couldn't slow down Devin Neal.
That's a nice job. And the important part of this play is getting Neal the ball quickly so that he can make a decision and try to drag this player to the first down. Great job. He sees him, faces up, and he uses his powerful legs to drive and go reach out for the first down. If that ball got there late, then he wouldn't have that chance. Very nice job by Daniels getting that ball out quickly and understanding the situation.
Hishaw replaces Neal behind Daniels. Daniels keeps it. Daniels in the open field. Inside the 10 to the 6. Shaka Hayward brings him down, but it's a huge gain for Daniels. 30 yards.
If I'm a defender for Duke, you can't tell me that this ball isn't given. They're all sucked inside, and then he turns around, gets around the edge, and makes a huge play. That was a key for a team goal for Duke. You have to set the edge, and they're not doing a very good job. Daniels gets on the edge, and another big play. Way to protect the ball at the end.
And bad news for Duke. One of their best defenders, Dorian Maiusi, is slowly jogging off the field. That's why we have an official timeout right now. Maiusi, who did not play a week ago in the win against North Carolina A&T, has to leave the field now, and they first and goal for Kansas.
A week ago, he had a lower body injury, not specified, but he wasn't able to play. They held him out. Then he comes into today. He already has made a big play and made a big impact. Losing him is going to be devastating with this explosive run game of Kansas.
Cam Dillon, number 35, replaces Maiusi defensively for Duke.
35, no slouch. He played well a week ago.
Daniels, little jump pass. Touchdown, Kansas, Trevor Cardell. Sellout crowd in Lawrence, loving every minute of it. Third catch on the season, second here in the first quarter for Cardell, and it gives 6 to the Jayhawks.
Ball handling. I mean, the eyes of Duke's defense, they're going to have to get to the sideline and figure it out because their eyes are in the wrong place, and it seems like every single time Daniels knows exactly where to go with the ball.
Jacob Borchilla, center cut. 7 plays, 57 yards, the 6-yard touchdown pass to Cardell. Everything is coming up roses for the Kansas Jayhawks. Jalon Daniels, man, he's a cross between Mario Chalmers, Paul Pierce, and Wilt Chamberlain when he walks the Lawrence campus these days.
Hey, you see Cordell walk up.
BMOC.
Cordell walks up and gives him a kiss on the head. Thank you, brother, for putting me in that end zone. Tight ends, man, they don't get enough love, man. They got to make sure they show that quarterback some love, get me the ball. Very nice.
This is going to be an important possession for the Duke Blue Devils. They had just been getting skunked here 10 minutes into our game. Reversing field, trying to make a run. That's Jontavius Robertson. It's going to be decent field position for Duke. But last 2 weeks for Kansas, they didn't get out of the chute well, Devin.
They did not. They started down 14, and that's why one of the team goals was they have to start fast. Well, I think they've done that.
I agree with you. On the other hand, Mike Elko's Duke Blue Devils, they've been starting off games
very fast,
very well.
Yeah.
These are the first quarter scores through the first 3 games, shutting out teams, putting up points. But right now, up against it. They were 3 and out, first time with the football. Leonard, pass is complete. That's Eli Pankel, and Pankel makes something out of it. It's going to be close to the first down marker. They give him 9, second down and 1.
Pankel's slowly becoming one of Riley's favorite targets. He's the X-receiver. He's always going to have that single matchup, and he's going to make plays when the opportunities arise. Let's see if Leonard can continue to find him.
Riley Leonard completes his first pass. That's become a thing for him. This is Jordan Moore, and Moore gets the first down but pays the price. gets slammed by Mello Dotson. Still haven't taken a look at the starters for Duke offensively. Here's your offensive line. Just like Kansas, they've been very good this year.
I love Jacob Monk. He's a guy that can get on the edge and pull, and he's special at that center position.
Skill position guys. Whole bunch of Jalons and Jordans, huh? Jalen Coleman is the back in the backfield next to Leonard. Leonard, deep ball. Getting greedy. Got it! Pankel's got it at the 5! Eli Pankel, a huge play for Duke.
They know that these corners love to break on balls, so they go double move and burst. Very nice job by Pankel, slowing his feet and then bursting and trying to get past. And this is a perfect throw. The defense is there. The move doesn't work, and the ball is dropped perfectly in the bucket. You gotta love it.
49 yards on the reception by Pankel. Coleman, touchdown, Duke. That's how you answer. The Duke Blue Devils took a punch maybe the first time all season long, and they answer with a punch of their own. Jalen Coleman, that's his 4th rushing touchdown on the season, and the crowd stunned.
That's the way you silence a crowd on the road. You come into Lawrence, Kansas, and you find a way to respond with a chance to tie this game up.
Charlie Ham for the extra point. Ham, love it. 4 plays, 66 yards, only 1 minute, 39 seconds. That's 99 total seconds to score the touchdown. Good golf.
It's going down for real.
2 3-0 teams, both with 7 points at the 3:40 mark of our first quarter. Duke and Kansas showing off some offense.
Of course, and both these quarterbacks on both sides, ball placement is something that really stuck out. Look at that. The hand of the defender is in between the arms, and the ball drops right on the 10 fingertips of Pankel. That's an outstanding throw and an outstanding response with an opportunity to make it a tie game.
Pankel's got a real knack for long receptions without getting a touchdown.
Yeah,
a couple of weeks ago in Northwestern,
right.
He set the record at Duke for the longest non-scoring pass reception. What was it, 91 yards?
It was very long, and he did not get in the end zone. And you said it's probably because his mouthpiece isn't in. His mouthpiece always popping.
Mouthpiece in there.
Slowing him down. But guess what? He tracks that ball well, and he can catch it.
Touchback. Ball will be brought out to the 25-yard line. This will be an important drive for Duke. Can they slow down Kansas? They didn't the first time. They were fortunate to get off the field when they failed to score from the 1-yard line on 4th down to begin the game. But then an almost easy second drive resulting in a touchdown.
You don't know the scary part about this. When we talked to Coach Kotelnicki about the offense, he said it's a pro-style offense with some spread concepts and very multiple. We haven't even seen the triple option aspect of this offense. It's still pretty vanilla here at the onset.
Oh, a little end around. This is McBride. Stephen McBride, the first time he touches it, gets out to the 30. Jalen Stinson runs him out of bounds. McBride from Napoleonville, Louisiana. There's a lot of guys, and you talk to Andy Kotelnicki, who's the offensive coordinator for Kansas, a lot of guys who can do similar things, a lot of things, and they're interchangeable offensively. It's not one guy say, hey, you're a deep guy, or you're an underneath guy, or you're a reverse guy. Everyone can do it all.
Yeah, when Patrick Mahomes talked about the Kansas City Chiefs this year, he said, hey, fantasy guys, don't pick a guy, because it's always going to be somebody different. Very similar here with this Kansas Jayhawk offense.
2 tight end formation, quick hitter, and the pass is incomplete, but there's a reason for that. There's a flag down. Daniels was looking for Quentin Skinner, but it's going to be a defensive flag against Duke.
Defense, number 0. Ball be placed at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
The young guy, Chandler Rivers, who is exceptional, right? He breaks on balls. Watch him read the quarterback. He reads quick, and then he drives on the ball, and just a little bit early there, and that's why it's incomplete. But I'm just letting you know, double moves on both sides are going to be open. We saw one already completed by Duke, but Kansas can do that same thing because the Duke defenders are very violent as they attack and try to get past breakups.
Full house backfield. Quarterback keeper Daniels to the 39. You had Cam Dillon holding on. Dillon came in last drive when Dorian Maiusi had to leave the game. So Maiusi's still out. Dillon, the transfer from Columbia, is in the game. Dillon originally from Findlay, Ohio. That's Northwest Ohio. Played in the Ivy League and now playing in the ACC for his final season of college football. I guess he graded really well in the win last week.
Yeah,
when he got the start from Maiusi.
He did. It's a good job of him not overplaying that run play and staying for the quarterback.
This time to give. Hishaw loses the helmet. Won't be an issue. He'll have to leave the game, but there's a lot of depth at that running back spot.
Assignment football is so important when you're playing a team like Kansas because of the multipleness, if that's a word, of the offense, right? You got the triple option game, and then you got the true read option game, and then you got the RPO, and then you got the deep play action that looks exactly like the RPO. So many different things. You have to have truly disciplined eyes if you're Duke's defense.
Kansas already over 100 yards here in our first quarter in rushing yards. 3rd down and 5. Daniels caught. That'll be a first down. Close to midfield. It's Luke Grimm, the junior, his first catch on the day.
It's a very nice job. It was kind of a spacing stick slant route where he goes to the slant. He sees that there's a linebacker in there, and then he works it right back out. Very nice job. And guess what? The quarterback is right on the same page, can throw him into the window, throws him open, anticipates where he's going to go. That's a very nice pickup on first down.
Luke Grimm, junior from Raymore, Missouri, just outside of Kansas City. Daniels, tight end. It's caught. This is Casey. And the hero of last year's Texas win, Jared Casey, his first catch.
Here we go. Take a look at it right here. He's going to go in a blocking position. He's going to fall down. He's going to get up, and then he's going to get across the field. He blocks, falls down, he gets up, and then Daniels has the presence of mind and gets the throwback and finds a nice play. I don't know if he's designed to fall down. We had a play like that at University of Michigan where you called the tight end to fall down and be an actor, and if he did, he's a very good actor on that play. Called it why hide, right? Hide on the ground.
Gain of 23 on that play. Look at Neal. Lost the football. It's loose. And Duke has it. Jalen Stinson comes up with the football. We told you that Duke has been super opportunistic defensively. Case in point right there.
What a job by Anthony Nelson. You're going to see him coming to your screen. He's retracing from the line of scrimmage. Boom! The ball's out right there. Very nice job. And when you have defensive linemen that continue to play hard and don't give up on plays, just because the running back's through the line of scrimmage, very nice job by Nelson. It can result in huge plays. They've got one there.
Kansas was knocking on the door before that fumble. Now with 33 seconds remaining in our first quarter, Duke's got it back. Last time they had it, they just blitzed down the field. Jordan Waters in the backfield next to Leonard. Waters. Oh, man, just trucks the defender. Ran right over Marvin Grant. We got a flag down. Marcus Woods is our referee. He's been quick today.
It was before the snap. So you would think it had to be on the defense because you usually stop the play. Or
no, they picked up. No flag.
I think they might have thought that it was a legal formation, not enough guys on the line of scrimmage, but they did have the bunch to the field, and then a tight end that's a big guy that might have looked like a lineman.
All right, chance for everyone to catch their breath. We have made it to the end of our first quarter. It has been the game that we were hoping for. Both teams with 15 minutes into our game. Start of our second quarter. Duke has the football. It's a 7-7 tie, Duke and Kansas. Second consecutive year that these two schools have played. Last year, Duke won convincingly in Durham. Second down and 2. Jordan Waters has the first down.
The ball carrier is number 7, Jordan Waters.
We're going to see Waters. We'll see Jalen Coleman.
Number 30, Rich Miller.
We'll see Jacquez Moore. A lot of options to run that football for Duke.
I won't be surprised to, at some point, see hard play action. The safeties for Kansas are very aggressive down in the box to try to stop this running game with Waters.
On first down, a pass from Leonard. And that is a rare incompletion for Leonard. Week 1, he completed his first 15 passes against Temple. Week 2, he completed 7 in a row before his first incompletion. Against North Carolina A&T a week ago, he was 11 for 12 to begin the game passing. So it normally starts out with his hair on fire. That's his first incompletion after 2 completions in the first quarter. He's only throwing 2 passes in that first quarter. Moore, the man in motion. Coleman forces his way out to the 39. Pickup of 6. It'll bring up third down.
It's a very nice job by Rich Miller. He sees the center pool and then meets him on the other side. Now, that's going to pick up a lot of opportunity for Duke to go on a naked bootleg and get the tight end coming across with the linebackers responding to their keys so quickly. The other linebacker, number 7, Lorenzo McAskill, has to move faster to try to get over the edge because Miller did a great job there.
Four-man rush. High, caught, and dropped. It was never a catch. Jordan Moore was not the intended receiver, but the ball found it into his mitts, and he couldn't hang on.
I mean, that's about as lucky in a good way for Duke as you get. You get this, and then, oh no, and then, oh, so much going on. Very nice job by Logan Jr. being in position to make that play on that ball, because that could have been a big pickup on for a first down.
Kenny Logan, pass defended. Porter Wilson, his first punt was 64 yards. This one not nearly as impressive. The ball will be at the 24 when Kansas starts on offense. Neal, who was under that blue tent for a while, he's off to a great start, Devin Gardner.
Yeah.
But Devin Neal landed awkwardly when he fumbled the ball.
Yeah, without question. He gets tackled here, but look at that right arm reach out, and then big 59 falls directly on top of him. That's something that you got to take a look at if they can't continue to run the ball the way they have.
So this is Daniel Hishaw in the backfield. They like Hishaw quite a bit. He's out to the 27. It's a gain of 3.
Yeah, Hishaw is no slouch. Right? Devin Neal has 204 yards on the season on 28 carries. Well, Hishaw has 26 carries for 170, right? So he's been running the ball. He's a big part of why this offense has been so good in the rush game as well.
It's kind of surprising. The last time Kansas had this many yards in the first quarter, they did it 4 years ago against Oklahoma. Second down and 7. Quarterback Daniels has been impressive, both with his arm and his legs. Here's a blitz. They beat it. Hishaw. Oh, they trumped him. What a wonderful play call. Hishaw spinning. Look at Hishaw go! What kind of speed do you got, young man? Get there! He does! What a play by Daniel Hishaw! '73 big ones.
What timing? We just talked about him being no slouch and being good for this offense. Attack the blitz. You learned that day 1 of camp. Attack the blitz. And when you attack the blitz, good things can happen. But the rest of this is all Hishaw. Excuse me. Pardon me. I'm making my way to the end zone. What a run to take the lead.
Good golly. Kansas, extra point pending. Borchilla. And it's a 14-7 lead for the Kansas Jayhawks. Hishaw just had his Wally Pipp moment on the field because Devin Neal is injured. And look at Hishaw go. They'll be talking about this one 30 years from now.
It's a great job of Daniels recognizing what the defense is trying to do to him, getting the ball out quickly, and allowing his runner, pass catcher, to do the rest.
So, the Duke Blue Devils back on offense. Riley Leonard, sophomore center. And we have a flag.
End of the play. This is 44's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul of the game.
Well, after the touchdown for Kansas, they give wonderful field position to Duke. Leonard wants to throw. Man, he's accurate. Pass is complete to Jordan Moore. Jordan Moore came to camp thinking that he had a chance to be the starting quarterback, was in a fair battle with Riley Leonard. Leonard won the battle. They moved Moore to wide receiver, and he has flourished catching passes. That's a 13-yard gain.
It's a nice job by Leonard. Sophomore quarterback, you call a shot on the very first play, and you have to be able to trust your quarterback that he's not going to just take the shot because you called it. He doesn't like it downfield. He drops his eyes and gets the ball to the flat route accurately, which allows him to run, and it ends up being a big play.
Handoff, Jalen Coleman. Not a lot there.
Number 22, Jalen Coleman.
Eric Gilliard's getting some playing time right now for Kansas. Normally one of the backup linebackers, but they're rotating through guys.
I mean, I love the technique of the linebackers. Gilliard comes, he scrapes, and then he takes on the blocker and kind of creates a bit of a pileup that leaves nowhere for Coleman to go.
Gilliard normally the backup to Rich Miller, but they don't have Rich Miller in the game right now. Coleman, look at this guy. All on top of Marvin Grant. That's the second time that Grant's been trucked. Marvin Grant.
This is special. You get on, and this is one-on-one. I lift weights.
Oh, my goodness.
My goodness.
Marvin Grant's a transfer from Purdue.
Lower
He's
your
a truck kid.
young fella.
That's a gain of 9 tough yards for Coleman. Charlotte native. First down, Duke. Jordan Waters back into the game, replacing Coleman in the backfield. Waters escapes the first tackle and is brought down at the 32. Tackle made by Mello Dotson, who immediately goes to the ground holding his right arm. Dotson, one of the starting corners, makes the tackle and needs to be looked at.
It's a great job by Leonard getting the ball out quickly, attacking the blitz. But Dotson goes down and hits him low and immediately grabs that right shoulder.
This is a story. Dotson is being looked at on the bench. In his stead, playing one of the corners for Kansas, is number 18, Kalen Gervin, junior from Detroit. In case you're wondering, yes, he is related to the Iceman, George Gervin. They're cousins, both from Detroit. Riley Leonard gets it to Waters out of the backfield, and Waters inside the 20. Kenny Logan makes the tackle, but that's a gain of 12.
I just love the way this offense is built. Coach Kevin Johns does a great job of building answers in for Leonard. On this play, it's kind of like a fake naked bootleg where you're going to get routes coming all the way across the field, and you want to have those shots taken, but if not, you have to find a way the eyes go straight to the flat and gets the ball to Waters for a first down.
Duke trying to answer the touchdown scored by Kansas a moment ago. Quarterback keeps it. And Leonard got thumped to the ground, brought down at the 16-yard line. Tackle made by Marvin Grant. Gain of 3.
Got to remember, Leonard is a superb athlete, long jump, triple jump, high jump, basketball player in high school. He's a guy that can move with his legs just as well. He had a long touchdown a week ago. Obviously, maybe not to the level of Jalon Daniels, but he can pick up yards with his legs and be quite dangerous.
We have not seen Rich Miller, normal Mike linebacker, in the game on this drive for Kansas. It's been Eric Gilliard replacing him. Down to the 11 goes Waters. It'll bring up 3rd down.
And you can see that the runners for Duke are picking up a lot of extra yards after contact, right? And it's because at contact, they're just continuing to drive their legs, and that doesn't happen with Rich Miller in the game.
3rd down and 2. Line to gains the 9. Waters in the backfield next to Leonard. And Waters has the 1st down.
The drive of the legs from the running back continues to move the linebackers, and they pick up the 1st down there. As you can see, Rich Miller standing anxiously. You see he was almost out of the white, going on trying to get on the field just a second ago.
And they put a tight end in motion, Nicky Dalmolin, and there's a flag down. No play. It's going to go against Duke.
False start. Offense, number 62. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Left tackle, Graham Barton.
It's just small flinch. I love the referees. They're able to see these tiny flinches with all the motion and different things going on. Like he was a tiny movement, but they caught him.
Leonard swings it out, trying to get a quick hitter. Nothing doing. That's Calhoun. Jalen Calhoun, brought down by Kobe Bryant. Just one.
It's a nice job by Lonnie Phelps. Right, he's going to get in, and he's going to redirect and run straight down the line of scrimmage. And great job on the outside by Kobe Bryant. And then Lonnie Phelps comes and cleans it up.
10th play of the drive. 2nd down and goal. Leonard. He's got wheels. Oh, my goodness. Bryant stones him at the 5. And it was Bryant who took the worst of it. Football is a violent game.
Yeah, he came in low, and I'm just telling you, even a guy that's not that big in Leonard, a knee to the head is not something that you want to take. Yeah. It's a nice job of coming off of his guy and making a play and getting him to the ground. And it's a nice job getting his head out of the way, right? He moved his head to use his shoulder, and I think that's what took the brunt of that hit.
So now both corners, Bryant and Dotson, have left the field for Kansas on this drive. It's 3rd down and goal. We should tell you that Mello Dotson has made it back out on the field. He was out earlier this drive, but he's back out there now. So at least one of the starting corners is available this 3rd down play.
Yeah, and they feel really, really comfortable with Kalen Gervin as well. They looked at him and Kobe Bryant as kind of a 1A, 1B guy, and they both got a lot of reps. So they're intact in the back end. But down here, you're going to get a heavy dose of Waters and Coleman.
3rd down and goal. They choose Waters in the backfield with Leonard. 4 receivers. Leonard. No chance. Just hoping right there, looking for Pankel. Nice defense played by Kalen Gervin, earning the scholarship.
I love it. That was an outstanding job by Kalen Gervin of technique, disciplined eyes, disciplined footwork. You try to get an out route, and he sat all over that. The thing is about it, when you're so close down here at the 5-yard line or inside the 5, there's nowhere for the receiver to go, so you shouldn't retreat. He does a good job, doesn't retreat, sits there, and he's there to make the play, nowhere to throw the ball for Leonard.
Charlie Ham has been a 50-50 proposition this year with that right foot. 4 out of 8. 22-yard attempt. No worries for Ham. So a 3-pointer made by the Duke Blue Devils to make this a 4-point game. 6:17 remaining in our first half. All right, Jalon Daniels, so far today, 137 yards passing, 57 yards rushing. Set it up to the tight end, Jared Casey. He is brought down after a short game. Darius Joyner comes from his safety spot.
Tried to get a screen there and get the offensive lineman out on the edge to block, but it developed a little too fast, and the offensive linemen weren't able to get out there.
And the officials call a timeout as we have a Duke player down. Aeneas Peebles. So Peebles is being looked at. We'll be back to Lawrence in a moment. Here. Looks like make it to the Duke sideline. I like the fact that Mike Elko choosing to leave the sideline and go look at his player. You talk to the Duke people, and everyone associated with that football program has just been beaming about the hire of Mike Elko. You're taking a chance when you get a guy who's never been a head coach at any level before. He never has been. He's been a defensive coordinator at some big-time stops, but never the head man. And so far, so good. 3 wins, a lot of optimism, an exciting brand of football.
And a healthy Mayusi back at linebacker.
Jason Bean is now in the game as the quarterback for Kansas. This is Bean. He can run. But no room there. Jalen Stinson sniffed it out. Not a surprise that Jason Bean's getting some tick. This is a guy who is an uber athlete.
Yeah, he's extremely talented, but I don't understand that one. Just because you have a guy that can do all those same things, right? You would think it would be like some type of trick play or something like that. To just get him a rep, I don't think that's smart, because now you're sitting here at a 3rd and long, and Jalon Daniels has to trot back out there.
Let's see if Jalon Daniels can pick up this 3rd down and 8. Four-man rush. Daniels fires a seed, and it's caught. Man, he can really sling it. Luke Grimm, his 2nd catch.
Oh, man, this is good quarterbacking here. You got Luke Grimm, who's going to release inside, right, and then fade back out, right? It's cover 2, and the ball is placed in between the safety, in between the flat corner, in the hole. That's exactly how you draw it up and what you want your quarterback to do if they leave enough space, and you got to have the arm strength to do it. Nice job by Jalon Daniels.
19 yards on 3rd down and 8. Hishaw crosses the 50-yard line. Devin, I remember talking to Les Miles 2 seasons ago when he was still calling the shots at Kansas. He had Jalon Daniels as a 17-year-old starting at quarterback. And a lot of people didn't see it.
Yeah.
But Les Miles was like, you know what? This guy is special. He's going to be a special quarterback. And, there wasn't much there. But clearly, this guy is special.
Yeah,
it just took a while to figure out the scheme and figure out his confidence level.
Yeah, I mean, coming in last year, he didn't get a real opportunity. He had some arm troubles in camp. Couldn't really put his skills on full display. But they know now.
Sevion Morrison, that's the first carry for the transfer from Nebraska. Tackle made by Darius Joyner. Said that before.
Previous play, Hishaw's shoe came off, so he had to jog off the field.
And we haven't seen Neal since Devin Neal left the game on his fumble when he landed on awkwardly. It's a loss of a yard for Morrison. So another 3rd down. Can Daniels do it again? Again, that ball gets out quick, and it's another 1st down to Grimm. Luke Grimm has been Mr. 3rd down on this drive for Kansas.
Love this concept. Very simple. We call it dragging, where you have a slant route and then a quick out that you call a drag. Right here, out in a slant, and you just read it out, and boom, they go over the top to try to make the play, gets the ball out quickly. That's the important part. You said it right at the onset. He gets the ball out so quick that the defense cannot recover. Nice design and a nice job by Daniels.
So Kansas knocking on the door again. Ball's at the 41. Lachlan and Morrison in the backfield next to Daniels. This is the give. And again, not much there this time for Lachlan. Lachlan's been a big play guy. Actually scored a couple of touchdowns a year ago against Duke. Had a nice specialty play last week in the win against Houston.
He's their Swiss Army knife. He can do everything. Came in, he was a wide receiver. They had nothing at running back, it seemed like a year ago, so they moved him to running back. He helped out there, so he has that unique ability to run the ball between the tackles, but also be a pass catcher, and he's been big for Kansas.
First man through. Morrison is going to make it 3rd down after a nominal gain. Already on this drive, Kansas has converted 2 third downs.
Number 92 in these Eagles.
So you've seen him go in the hole, and then you've seen him go short to pick up the first down. I'm interested to see where they go this time. I think over the middle. I think the Duke's defense is playing a little bit of middle open. If they go middle open here, you could get a guy, sneak him in the middle.
Out of the backfield, it's the tight end, Cardell. And another big play for Cardell, who scored a touchdown in the first quarter.
I mean, Daniels just has a beat on what Duke is trying to do. They stay with the middle safety, and he just gets this ball out quickly to the tight end. They keep a middle safety in the field. That means that it's soft on the outside. They have to shake out the switch releases, and he gets the ball out and finds the right guy again.
Quickly back to the line of scrimmage, and Daniels is forced out of bounds. That'll stop the clock. We've got just 1:05 remaining in our first half. What that last first down did for Kansas is it should assure that Duke is not going to get the ball back here in the first half. Duke does have 3 timeouts.
You know, the one thing we haven't been able to see that we saw just on that last play is his ability to create and run in the pass game, because he's been able to get the ball out quickly or find an open target. We haven't seen him, but he's special in that right when he's able to use his legs. And getting down here tight in the red zone, his legs are going to come big in part. It's even on pass plays.
Daniels to the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! Grimm again! There is a flag down.
Perfect timing, perfect trajectory, perfect throw, touchdown.
It was pass interference that was declined, so the degree of difficulty for Grimm was ratcheted up, and he still made the play.
I mean, I saw him do this a week ago against Houston, where he moves just a little bit, finds a way to get the ball in the end zone. How about Grimm in this start?
Out of 12, 200 yards, and 3 tutties, and we still in the first half.
Duke's defense is looking like this guy is supposed to be the runner.
Riley Leonard, passes complete. Jalen Calhoun, second catch for Calhoun, 3rd time he's been targeted. His first catch was just for a yard. This one a little bit better, but Duke's got to go a long way in a short period of time. 56 seconds remaining here in our first half, and now the clock moving again.
I love the young sophomore quarterback being trusted to drive the ball down.
Leonard has to throw it away. In hot pursuit was Jeremy Robinson, junior defensive end, who has really stepped up for Lance Leipold's bunch.
Now you got a bit of a decision to make. It was a flag on the play. It's 48 seconds left. Do you go quick 3 and out and leave time for Kansas to get the ball back and get another opportunity while they're extremely hot on offense?
Holding, offense, number 55. 10-yard penalty. Second down, correction, first down.
Andre Harris, big man from Oklahoma City. We should mention defensively right now for Kansas, they do have Kobe Bryant back in the game. Kobe Bryant had to leave last time that Kansas was out there defensively, but he's back out. So the 2 starting quarters, Dotson and Bryant, are on the field for Kansas. Leonard underneath, pass is caught. Calhoun, second catch of this drive. That'll stop the clock at 38 seconds temporarily. And if Duke is serious about scoring, they might as well call it timeout, right?
Yeah. He does a good job of getting a lot of it back and keeping them on schedule. This is a nice job just coming over the middle of the field. You see him set it up, and then come underneath right through the middle. Nice job.
The guy who made that tackle, Mello Dotson, is actually still down on the field. And he's just gotten up. This will be the second time that Dotson has left the field in the second quarter because of an apparent injury. So despite the injury, this is a timeout taken by Duke. Now Duke is going to get the ball to begin the third quarter. So there doesn't necessarily need to be like a huge sense of urgency to get some points here, but it would be some gravy. You could punch in at least a 3 before you have halftime. Mike Elko would be a happier man. It would make it an 8-point game, knowing that they're going to get the ball to begin the second half.
Yeah.
Two basketball first schools are playing good football here in 2022, trying to get to 4-0. Now, Blue Bloods, Devin. Let me coach up a little bit.
Blue Bloods.
When you think about Blue Bloods in
what
basketball,
are the Blue Bloods?
Look, we're talking traditional powers. Like you go back to the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, all the way up to right now, and you always know that Duke, Kansas, North Carolina, Kentucky, UCLA, and Indiana are going to be tradition-rich, positive, winning programs contending for national titles.
Well, so one would ask, and you know, I actually.
And now the Blue Bloods happen to be perfect in football, by the way.
I know, right? All of them. And I said, what about Michigan? Is Michigan a Blue Blood in basketball? And you said no, but you said they did have a stretch
in the 70s.
In the 70s, yeah.
Tomjanovich and those. Okay, all-time wins. Look at this. This is what we're talking about by Blue Bloods. You got Kansas and Duke separated by just a handful of total victories. Final 4 appearances. That's a bunch, folks. And national titles, a combined 9. That's Blue Blood.
Man,
that's Blue Blood.
The blood before it hits the air. What? Science? I don't
like
know.
that. Second down and 5. Oh, what a catch! Cal Coleman's got it! How did he make that catch? What a wonderful bit of hands by Coleman.
So people are going to say it's inaccurate, but it's a great job because Riley is trying to hold him up with the ball before he gets to the next defender. He's trying to hold him up, and because of that tip, the defender jumps outside trying to go get the ball. He splits the defenders, and now they're in business.
26-yard gain. Leonard, he can scoop. Leonard is brought down, but he's close to the first down marker. It's going to depend on the spot. Craig Young credited with a tackle.
Should be a quick timeout.
Yep, it is. So the second timeout for Duke.
How about the poise of this young freshman and the ability to know what ball to throw at what time? We already saw him drop a dime down the field, and then he throws a back shoulder there to hold his and protect his receiver from getting hit, and then the receiver does the rest and makes a big play, and then he finds a way to run and get yardage. This is a masterful drive to finish this first half.
I apologize, folks. I thought that it was Duke that called the timeout. It was Kansas that called the timeout.
That doesn't seem like it would happen.
Well, I guess if your defense is getting gashed, you got to try and stop the bleeding somehow.
No.
But with 24 seconds remaining.
Duke, it had to be Duke. There's no way. Kansas would not do that.
We were told on good authority that the timeout was called by Kansas.
Wow.
It's a question for the postgame show.
Well.
All right, 24 seconds remaining. Duke still has 2 timeouts. Leonard, tons of time. Oh, almost picked off by Dotson. Mello Dotson.
Boy, was that close. And so you always wonder, where's the mistake, right? Because Riley threw it as a down the stem route, but Coleman was coming in like a curl route. Either way, it could have proved disastrous.
Third down and 2. Kansas running a defender in late. Taiwan Berryhill comes in. They're going to run it with Waters. And Waters doesn't make it there. Waters is tackled by Caleb Sampson. And it's now 4th down. So Duke will have to settle for the field goal attempt, right?
So we think.
All right, Mike Elko has not put out the field goal kicking unit just yet. It's 4th down and 1. Their kicking situation is not great. Coming into this game, Charlie Ham was just 4 for 8. Are they really going to go for it, or is maybe this just a hard count to try and get an extra 5 yards if Kansas jumps offside?
They do have an extra timeout, but it looks like it's a lot of communication. And unless this young quarterback is a great actor, it looks like they're going to try and really go for this.
And they do. And they get it. This is Waters. Now they'll have to use that timeout. Uh-oh.
They're going to try and clock the ball because of the first down stoppage of the clock. They're going to try and clock it, and you can see Coach Elko's trying to get the ball clocked so they don't have to use that timeout.
You know what? We need to go back. We need to go back. Duke is out of timeouts. When we said that Kansas called the timeout a moment ago at the 38-second mark,
I was right.
That was not correct.
Yeah.
All right, so this is what it is, folks. 7 seconds remaining in our first half. Charlie Ham made a field goal earlier to get him to 5 for 9 on the year. This is going to be a 37-yard attempt. Ham's kick, little sidewinder, sneaks through. So it wasn't a thing of beauty, but it counts for 3. It's another triple, a 3-pointer for the Duke Blue Devils. Who said that before?
I think Kansas might have tipped that, and that's why it looked like that. Because, you know, they reacted right away like, oh, it's not going to be no good, because I think they touched it a little bit, but that goes back to if you get the 5-yard penalty, right, that might be a block and maybe return for a touchdown. You just don't know. But it looks like that ball might have been tipped. Yeah, you see it start to wind the other way and start to turn. Man, that last kind of exchange between teams, the timeouts and different things like that, that was kind of weird.
Just as a reminder, Dukes can receive the second half kickoff. We've got a 1-possession game. 3 seconds left in our second quarter. Kansas leading by 8. Possibility for a return here. Sevion Morrison is the deep back. And he'll watch it sail out of bounds behind him through the end zone for a touchback. So Kansas is just going to take a knee. Jalon Daniels, who has been all world here in the first half, takes the snap, takes the knee, and he'll head into that locker room. So a fun, well-played first half from Lawrence. 1-possession game at the break. Kansas Jayhawks, one of the great stories in all of college football. All right, Duke's going to start on offense. Remember, they won the coin toss back in the first half, and they decided to defer the option to the second half. On the return, and that is Stinson. Jalen Stinson upended. Take a look at the first half possessions. Riley Leonard and Duke, first time they got it, just terrible field position. Started at the 1. They were 3 and out. Scored a touchdown in lightning fashion the second time they had it, then a punt, and then back-to-back field goals.
You know, I mean, that Kansas defense is trying to find a way to bow their neck. We saw a lot of substitutions with the linebacker position. I would imagine that Rich Miller's going to start this drive. Let's see if they can keep those guys out there, right? Because you saw a lot of Duke's success, especially in the run game, came with Rich Miller off the field.
2 tight end formation. Dalmolin and Finney are your 2 tight ends. Jalen Coleman in the backfield with Leonard. This is Coleman. And Coleman ran into a thicket. Lonnie Phelps, the transfer from Miami of Ohio, with the tackle. Haven't mentioned his name a whole bunch, but he has been an eye-opener. Former All-Mid-American Conference player, Lonnie Phelps, from Cincinnati, Ohio. The other Queen City, if you ask the people from Charlotte, North Carolina. Gain of 3, 2nd down and 7. And nothing doing at all. Jordan Moore is brought down in the backfield. That's a big-time loss. Malcolm Lee. Good scouting there.
It's a nice job by Potter out here on the left side of your screen. He gets vertical and underneath the block fast, and both these guys defeat their blocks and get to the runner and create this long down and distance.
Line to gain is the 29. It's 3rd down and 13. Leonard caught right at the sticks. I don't know. It's going to depend on the spot. It's going to be short. Jalen Calhoun needed 13. He got 12.
Oh, what about the route? He goes on a post corner comeback, right? Sticks his left foot in the ground. Post, corner, comeback. What a route, but just a bit too
Number 55.
shallow.
Half position to the goal. 3rd down.
Oh, my. There's a hold on Andre Harris, and Kansas doesn't decline it. Well, okay, I guess they're going to push him far enough back that there's really...
On the right side of the screen, number 55 gets beat quickly. The guy you were just talking about, Lonnie Phelps, who hadn't made a splash just yet. He makes a splash off the wall quickly there, and he has nothing to do but hold him.
Am I the only person a little bit surprised that Kansas didn't just decline it? It would have been 4th down and 1.
Yeah.
All right, 3rd and 21. Not a lot to do here with Duke. Probably a conservative play call. Or maybe not. Leonard has to run. Uh-oh. Gave himself up, was pushed from behind, and a flag comes out. Lonnie Phelps is the man down. See, when you give a team an extra down, which is what Kansas did, you can't make a mistake with a penalty.
I'm really wondering what the penalty is going to be.
It's the hit on the quarterback.
I mean,
he gave himself up there.
Yeah, he did start to slide first.
Yeah,
and he does hit him. I think I agree there. So
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
So Kansas would have had the ball back. There's no way Duke was going to go for it on 4th down and 1 from 28. They give them an extra play, and because of the penalty on Phelps, it's a 1st down and 10 for Duke.
Man, that has got to hurt the opening drive. You do a good job. You get him off the field just by the hair on your chinny chin. You give them extra down like you spoke about, and now Duke is going to start rolling.
Moore's the man in motion. Now reverses field. Coleman trying to rip the ball out. That was Craig Young, number 15, dreaming big dreams. It's a gain of 4, and Coleman asked to come out of the game after taking a hit. He's replaced by Jordan Waters.
4-yard gain on the play. 2nd and 6 at the 35.
It's a shoe issue. Quarterback Riley Leonard actually leads Duke in rushing. He's got 29 yards on the ground. Waters. That defense is flying around right now for Kansas. People who have watched Kansas football in recent years wouldn't recognize this defense because of the way they can come at you in waves. It's not just the starters. They go 22 deep, and these guys all can play. A lot of transfers sprinkled in. They got good in a hurry. 3rd down. And Kansas trying to make a late change defensively. They have to call a timeout.
First, 30-second timeout. Sorry, full timeout.
Third down and 6.
3rd down and 6 for Duke. Opening possession of our 2nd half. Leonard caught. That's Moore. One quarterback to another. Jordan Moore was beaten out by Riley Leonard in fall camp. Switched to wide receiver, and he's been a revelation.
Up, vertical press, boom, and across. Very nice job of getting to the toes of the defender and then breaking across. Wide open. And how about Leonard having the courage to throw that ball over the middle with guys on the way? You had Rich Miller up in his face, reaching up, and then a linebacker behind. Very nice job, very nice throw, nice pickup for first down.
Moore was working on the safety, Kenny Logan. Leonard wants a bunch. Deep! Incomplete. Wonderful defense by Mello Dotson.
Man, so often defenders panic when they get in this situation. Mello Dotson doesn't panic at all. Runs, doesn't touch. Runs, finds the ball, and then up. That is textbook defense. I mean, what a play by Dotson. And now you see why it was so important that he got back in the game. Remember earlier in the first half, he gone out with an injury. What a play, and to not have even a chance of pass interference.
Waters. Tackle made by Lonnie Phelps. It'll bring up third down. This is just the fourth meeting between these two schools. Kansas lost last year, but if Kansas wins today, the all-time series would be tied at 2. First meeting back in 2009. 2009, 2014, 2021, and today.
And remember, if this third down, if they can pick this up, this drive was supposed to be over about 15 plays ago.
Waters spun down short of the line to gain. Marvin Grant.
Coach Leipold said they needed to disguise their intentions for this young quarterback. Very nice job. Rich Miller is lined up almost outside over the slot, and he blitzes from that position into the middle of the defense and is right there to hold the running back up, and Marvin Grant does a great job of finishing.
4th down and 1. Power football.
Inside release if they do blitz.
Waters not going to get there. Blown up immediately by Eddie Wilson. Eddie Wilson, who came over with the coaching staff from Buffalo, makes a huge play.
And what about O.J. Burrows? Sacrifice himself. Going and giving everything. Rich Miller in there to make a play. How about that Kansas defense making a stop?
Duke's trailing Kansas by 8. Duke had it for 10 plays just a moment ago. They go 43 yards, but they give it up on downs. And now Kansas back on the field. And Devin Gardner, they began this season one of the best rushing teams in the country. Just phenomenal numbers. 13 rushing touchdowns, 4th in the country after having 15 in 12 games all of last year. Now this year, today's game, more of the same. 115 rushing yards in the first quarter, but not so much in the second quarter.
I think it's because they went to the pass a little more, and Devin Neal was out, even though his backup is very, very serviceable. Big fella, number 20, Daniel Hishaw, who we saw in the passing game. But I think some of that is because the balance, right? You know, you start getting Duke, getting more guys in the box, and you have the capability with your quarterback to drive the ball down the field, right? So they didn't have to depend as much on the run game. But Neal being out is a real thing. It's not everything, but it is something.
7 carries, 62 yards for Neal before he had to leave the ball game. They stay on the ground. Hishaw makes a man miss, and Hishaw to the 36. This guy is tough to bring down. 17 yards. How about Lance Leipold? When he was at UW-Whitewater, there were none better. He's at a Division III school. He won 6 national championships during his time with the Warhawks, and translated that to playing a head coach at Buffalo, 2-time Mid-American Conference Coach of the Year. This is now his 2nd season at Kansas, after taking over for Les Miles. He's been a winner everywhere he's been.
Yeah, he knows exactly what to do. He knows how to change a program around. That's no easy feat. You know, people say, oh, it's Division III football. No, it's football. And he was able to win 6 championships at that level of football, and then goes to Buffalo and does well there, and brings a lot of those players that he kind of molded to Kansas, and a lot of the reason why they're so good.
Daniels winds up and delivers high. looking for Grimm. Grimm was a big deal in the first half. 4 catches, 55 yards, and a touchdown.
You remember in the meeting, I talked to Coach Kotelnicki, and I said, you know, there's not a lot of flaws in Daniels' game, right there. But there's one thing I think he can work on. It's the over route, right? And we were trying to figure out, is it because he gets to it late, or what's the case? Because I know he can throw it, and it's sometimes he gets to that over route just a little late. Maybe feet aren't in place, and you saw there he missed high on that one.
Grimm's the man in motion. Devin Neal's back in the game. First time we've seen Neal in a while. What a bullet. Gorgeous pass.
Oh,
touchdown. Lawrence Arnold. 36-yard bullet. And Kansas has done it again. It's the 4th passing touchdown today for Jalon Daniels.
What are we watching here? This is about as big time. Just take a look at 2 running down the field. Another hole shot. I mean, this is a direct line from his hand to his hands for a touchdown. This kid can throw. I mean, he can really throw, and more importantly, he can pass. And there's a difference there.
Borchilla.
Oh, my goodness.
Makes it a 15-point lead for the locals. Something special is happening in Lawrence, Kansas. How about Lawrence Arnold? A tutty from Jalon Daniels, the largest lead of the day for either side. Welcome back, everyone. It is a 28-13 lead for Kansas. 8:25 remaining in our third quarter. 4 plays, 62 yards, and another touchdown throw from Jalon Daniels, his 4th of the game. And I know we haven't even started conference play. Well, technically Kansas had. They won on the road against West Virginia. Yeah. But who's playing better right now in the country than Jalon Daniels?
I mean, it's slim pickings. It's slim pickings. He is outstanding in the details. I think is what's most important, right? The placement of balls, and you know, you not just got guys running wide open, right? He's placing this ball perfectly, and the running ability. We haven't even been able to see as much of it, right? That's one of his better runs, but he's just been able to put the ball in the right place at the right time so often. There, you saw pressure in his face with an absolute dime, and then this is, I mean, there aren't a lot of guys that can go left hash, hole shot to the field, right, which is the wider side of the field. Hole shot to the field before the safety can get there. I mean, he's been spectacular today, and obviously he's been spectacular all season. Back-to-back player of the week.
You know, some smart people are going to start to whisper Heisman when they start talking about what he's done.
I mean, I don't want to say it. You know, got game to go, season to go, but wow.
2 years ago, this guy was bottom of the barrel. And I say this, you know, with a lot of love. I had a chance to watch him, you know, play as a 17-year-old true freshman quarterback in 2020, and Jalon Daniels was overmatched, and that's being nice. The way he has turned around his game, just startling. Startling. Closing on the 8-minute mark of our third quarter. Duke, they've got to get busy. Down by 15, passes high, and Moore can't bring it in. I'm sorry, that's Pankel. Third down at 6.
Transfer from Purdue, Marvin Grant, getting a whole bunch of reps here today, and does a great job of separating, not going too high where he gets a penalty, but putting his shoulder right in his chest and just dislodging the ball. Another one of those Detroit guys that come from Detroit to play here at Kansas. I mean, they've got a bunch of them, and they're making plays, including Rich Miller.
Four-man rush. Close to the line to gain. It's going to depend on the spot. It's going to be short.
And there is the aforementioned Rich Miller in the passing game, making a play there, and he is very short. What a play by Rich Miller.
Not very short. A half-yard short. And it looks like they're going to go for it.
I don't like this, especially the way it kind of shook out the last time you went for it. I want to expect a hard count here. But like we talked about earlier, he's doing a lot of communicating. So unless he's just this great actor as a sophomore, I anticipate they will try to get this ball snapped.
4th down and 1. Leonard caught, and the chains will move. That breathes life into this Duke offense. Jordan Moore with the reception. They're down 15, and the way Kansas is rolling offensively, they can't afford to be giving the ball back with empty possessions.
Yeah, it's a very nice job. Get your quarterback on the move, because now he can run and go get the short yardage, or he can throw it. And on the outside, it did a kind of a pick play. I remember this play we had it at the University of Michigan called River Rub or Lake Rub, rolling left or rolling right. Great job of rubbing the wide receivers and creating a lot of space for more.
Looking for the tight end, Del Mullen. Did he keep a foot in bound? He did. That's a short gain. Pickup of 2. Haven't called Del Mullen's name a lot.
It's just going to be a quick out there, and Riley once again gets through his reads and gets to this throw. It's a short gain, but that's a nice catch. You can't see, the white shoes. Looks like he got his foot down, but
the official's right there. No one had a better look truly in the building. So we play on. 2nd down and 8. Again, Del Mullen in motion. Inside handoff. Coleman, oh my goodness. Whacked by Marvin Grant. In that first half, Martin Grant was getting trucked. He has come out with his hair on fire here in the 2nd half.
Man, it's like he listened and he said, oh, you mean to tell me Coleman lifts weights? Well, I also lift weights. My goodness. Here comes a boom.
All right, we move on. It is now 3rd down. 3rd down and 2. Coleman. It's going to depend on the spot. And the original look, I'm not sure. Are they going to spot it with the left foot or the right foot?
Man, Rich Miller is outstanding. He jumps inside the blocker and then finds a way to get back out and stop the runner before he can get to the line of the game.
They didn't get there. They're not going to bring out the sticks. It's 4th down, and Duke, no hesitation. They're back at the line of scrimmage. They've already gone for it and converted once on this drive.
I mean, the way Kansas has moved the ball on offense, you almost have to do this, right? Because you just can't see yourself stopping them.
Uh-oh.
False start. Wow.
So that'll make the decision easier for Mike Elko.
False start. Offense. Number 62. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Graham Barton.
What Kansas did on that play is they shifted the defensive line, and then the linebacker started to shift as well. And you're going to see the guard or tackle there starts to move and get in position when he sees Rich Miller going to the line of scrimmage. And I think that's what made him move there.
So Porter Wilson comes on. 2 punts today for Porter. 64 yards and 42 yards. And it'll be downed inside the 10. That is a 58-yard punt for Porter Wilson. Job well done. Jalon Daniels and Kansas offense back on the field in a moment. They found something. Lightning in a bottle. This offense has been legit. You take out that kneel down end of the 2nd quarter, and these are the last 3 full possessions for the Jayhawks.
I mean, these aren't short deals, right? These are long drives where Duke is able to flip the field, but this Jalon Daniels-led offense is just able to convert and make huge plays, especially when they need it.
Devin Neal is in the game for Kansas. He's a receiver, bottom of your screen. Daniels. That's the first fluttering pass we've seen all day long. Everything else has been a tight spiral. Daniels is 12 for 15, 236 yards, 4 touchdowns.
He's also the leading rusher on the team.
Junior from Lawndale, California. Actually had a transfer. Went to 2 different high schools out in Southern California, the LA area. Wasn't getting any playing time, and it didn't look like he was ever going to get any playing time. So he had a transfer just to get on the field as a high school player. Good, strong run. Hishaw brought down by one of the safeties after a gain of 5.
Like that was Datron Young that got in there and made that play and got him just by his shoestring.
Young, familiar with playing against Kansas. He's a transfer from Iowa State. Third down. Is this Luke Grimm territory?
Could outflank the defense right away down here.
Daniels. Pass is complete.
You see it. The leverage is there.
That's Skinner. Quentin Skinner with the grab.
You can see the defender is inside just a bit. If he presses him vertical, he'll really have the leverage. And if this ball's on time, it can't be stopped. Nice catch by Skinner, making sure he's a blazer, right? And Datron Young knows that, so he has to retreat. And once he retreats, that ball gets there on time. First down.
Jason Bean is now into the game. You got Bean in the backfield with Daniels. They fake it to him, and they get it out to Arnold. Lawrence Arnold to the 45. There's a lot of different things that they can do offensively. They've got weapons all over that they can line up in the backfield, out wide.
How about Arnold's patience in the route? He goes outside vertical and then comes underneath. Oh, what a route. And then a perfect throw right on his face mask for another sizable gain.
Gain of 14 for Arnold. Arnold had a touchdown earlier in this third quarter. Tight end Casey. And the give is to Neal. This is Neal's first carry since leaving in that first half with an apparent arm injury.
You can see he's got a little adoration to his uniform there on that right shoulder, some extra padding to try to help take some of that shock off. Remember, we saw him with his arm extended and a big guy landing on him. It's always tough and usually leads to a shoulder injury, but he's out there back and he's accelerating through contact, and that's very good to see.
Back-to-back touches for Neal. And Neal has set up for a first down.
I think the shoulder's all right? He uses his right shoulder to run over a guy. I think he's doing fine. And when you add him with Hishaw in the game as well, I mean, this offense is nearly, it seems unstoppable. And this is a good job of the offensive lineman hooking and getting to this outside zone. But he used that right shoulder and lowers the boom there. Looks like he's all right.
So now Neal, job well done. He'll exit the game. They fake to Hishaw, and Daniels is sacked. That's the first sack all season long. Coming in off the edge and making a play. Second down at 14. Skinner makes the first man miss, has the first down, and out of bounds. That was a well-designed and well-executed play.
You usually don't love 3-on-3 in the bubble game, but when you have Skinner on the motion, full speed, he outflanks the defense right away. And now you just got one guy to make miss, and you can go get the yardage needed for a first down. That's a nice job, once again, of Daniels knowing what he has, knowing what he wants to get to, and getting to it quickly.
Well, they called a penalty on Kansas. So negate the big play to Skinner, negate the first down, and they're going to be moved back to the 45-yard line. Oh, that's a crusher. That's the way the third quarter ends. We'll short it out for you when we come back. But we have one more quarter to play. Kansas leads Duke 28-13. Four fingers in the air. We've made it to winning time. The fourth quarter. Kansas trying to hold on. They've got a 15-point stiff arm on the Duke Blue Devils. But they were driving, Devin, and they lost some yards. This is called a holding on the receiver, Douglas Emilian.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a whole bunch there, mainly because number 30, Brandon Johnson, doesn't quite fight to go make the play. Usually you don't see it called, but it was called, and he does have a hold of the jersey in the shoulder pad, so nice call by the referees. But you want to see the defender fight and try to go make that play, so it's very clear there's no real question on whether it's holding or not.
So instead of a first down and moving closer to another score, it's now second down and 21. See the numbers through the first three quarters tilted heavily in favor of Kansas. I don't know if I've ever seen that. Kansas calls a timeout before they run a play in the fourth quarter. All right, so Kansas has got the ball, second down at 21. They've already used a couple of timeouts here in the second half. Grimm's the man in motion.
Middle open defense.
Quick hitter to Grimm. And Grimm is brought down. Tackle made by Shaka Hayward. Grimm's had a nice afternoon. That's now 5 catches. Grimm has got a sister named Maddie. He does not have a brother, so there is no Brothers Grimm, for those of you wondering. Gain of 8, third down.
He's been special today. He's done a very good job and been very reliable for Jalon Daniels, and that's a good job of getting some of it back, throwing a quick hitch, and now you can set up this 3rd and long, but it's a bit more manageable.
Daniels, not much pressure at all. Underneath, the pass is caught by Arnold. Lawrence Arnold to the 36-yard line. That'll be short, but Devin, maybe it's close enough where they'll think about going for it.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like everybody's gearing up and ready to go. We saw him go for it earlier in the game on a few separate occasions, and it looks like they are gearing up to go for it.
So it's an 11-yard gain, bringing up a 4th down and 2.
I go hard count and then get to my play, but I would go for it here.
Oh my goodness, movement on the line. Earl Bostic.
Similar to what happened to Duke on theirs, you get the defensive end who reacts to the hike of the ball, but he doesn't cross the... The defensive lineman does a good job. He reacts to the snap of the ball, but he doesn't go across the line of scrimmage. And so now you get the tackle trying to protect, thinking he's jumping off sides, but he doesn't cross the line, and they're still going.
4th down at 7. You don't want to try a bomb of a field goal. And I guess trying to put your foot on Duke's neck. They're going to go for it. 4th down at 7.
You got one-on-one coverage at the top. If safety doesn't lean help, he could go there.
Oh, quick kick. What can't Daniels do?
What
can't he do? Just add that to the Heisman resume. He's a wonderful pooch punter, too.
He can run, he can pass, and he can punt.
Kansas missed an opportunity. A couple of costly penalties last time they had the ball. They've got to give it up. So Riley Leonard and the Duke Blue Devils back on the field. There are the numbers for Leonard. Notice that there are no touchdowns next to his name.
Yes, he played very well, though, in the passing game.
Looking for Higgins. 2nd and 10.
It's a rare overthrow there by Leonard. It's a stick route, quick, easy, quick out, and he kind of misses it.
Now, Mike Elko, before the game, was telling anyone who wanted to listen, there are no big games. There's just the next game. Duke didn't want to put any extra pressure on what they were doing. Not a lot of hype. They just wanted to see if they can get to 4-0. And right now, they need to get to work. 3rd down and long. Coming off the edge, Mello Dotson from his corner spot brings down Coleman. It's a loss of 2.
This Mello Dotson is exactly what they want at the quarterback position. Sauce Gardner from Cincinnati comes to mind. 6'1", long arms, can play in the pass game. We saw, but he also comes up and tackles like you saw there.
Line to gain is the 18. Kansas has 4 tackles for losses in the game. It's a big play for Duke. I think that's going to be enough. Higgins was fighting for everything he was worth to get to the marker.
We talked about the ball placement at halftime, and how about this ball placement here? Dotson is exactly where you want to be. He's right there in position to make the play. Ball is perfectly thrown right in the middle of the face mask of the wide receiver, and he's able to power for a 1st down.
Philadelphia kid's got some Philadelphia tough in him. He needed 11, he got 12. Leonard gives himself up at the 25.
That's the forgotten element for Leonard. Obviously, super accurate. He's made great decisions in the passing game, but his running ability is what really evens out the defense. They have to play honest because he will go pick up 5 on a passing play at any given moment. He also can add himself into the read option game as well.
Leonard had a 56-yard touchdown run last week in their game against North Carolina A&T. Nope, nothing happening. Again from his corner spot, that's Mello Dotson. All right, Devin Gardner, as a quarterback, if you notice this corner consistently coming in and making plays in the backfield, does that send up any alarms to you? Can you run something at him to take advantage of his aggressiveness?
So what Kansas is doing is they're stacking their safety behind the corner, which frees the corner up to blitz, right? The safety stacked over and is freeing the corner up to blitz. So if they can find a way to get a route on a safety, it would be great for them. I don't know if it's going to happen here. Not going to happen here.
3rd down and 5. Leonard caught again. This is Moore. Jordan Moore across the 50. Jordan Moore has saved the day multiple times this afternoon for the Duke Blue Devils.
Ball placement. Kobe Bryant is in perfect position. He's not your screen right now, but he's outside. He's got outside leverage, but he thinks he can get to the ball. But the ball is so perfect that there's no way for him to get there. He misses, and now it's a big game for Moore.
29 yards for the converted quarterback.
Takes a shot there, too, as the ball's coming out. But you can see the focus of the head. Keep your eyes focused on the target. His eyes follow the target all the way down to the ground. Nice job by Leonard.
Tougher than woodpecker lips. Jordan Waters, he's got it. It's an end around. Looking to throw. This is Moore. Nothing there. He'll run it. And he gets out of bounds. Made some chicken salad out of that. There was not going quickly in the right direction. But he picks up 6, maybe 7, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Remember, Moore was in a fierce competition all the way through camp to be the quarterback here at Duke. He played a lot last year, almost had about the same amount of reps as Riley Leonard did. He was beat out, and in a week, he prepares to be a receiver, and he's been a big part of this offense, and he's been very talented. And then you get opportunities like that with gadget plays where if it's there, he'll be able to throw that ball and throw it accurately.
10 minutes remaining in our ball game. Duke won last year against Kansas. Leonard caught down to the 3. Robertson with the grab. Look at this Duke team, and look at how quiet things have gotten.
Wow. The ball placement, Eric. The ball placement. The defense is there.
Inside run. Waters brought down at the line of scrimmage. Duke has had to convert a number of long 3rd downs on this drive.
I mean, take a look at this. It's just a deep post, attack the leverage outside, come underneath, stick foot in the ground, but the defender makes up, right? He's there. No, there's no defense for a perfect ball, and both these quarterbacks have been outstanding, and right now, it's Riley Leonard driving down.
This drive started on the 8-yard line for Duke. 10th play of the drive. Waters into the end zone. Touchdown. That's what Duke needed. Jordan Waters gets the touchdown. And now we're an extra point away from this being a 1-possession game.
Just an inside zone, or an outside zone that turns into an inside zone because of Waters' vision. Does a great job of seeing the end zone, sticking his foot in the ground, and getting there. How about that drive? That is good football, up and down by Duke, led by Riley Leonard.
This is an important extra point. No worries. Charlie Ham. 8-point game. Don't go to sleep on the Duke Blue Devils. They still got a puncher's chance in Lawrence. 28-20 is our score. All right, Jalon Daniels. He has been Mr. Perfectly Fine so far in today's ball game. This has been magical. This is Lachlan. Corey Lachlan, they use him as kind of their gadget guy. Trying the reverse, loses the helmet. He'll have to come off the field. 2nd down for the Jayhawks. Kansas so far this year, they've already won a conference game. They went to Morgantown and beat West Virginia. Then last week, tough non-conference game, they played at Houston and won that one convincingly, 48-30. They had to endure a 69-minute lightning delay.
Talk about adversity.
They're the only lightning's been on this field. Caught. That'll be a 1st down. This is Arnold. Lawrence Arnold out of bounds as he crosses the 50.
quick feet, quick delivery, quick decision making. Lawrence Arnold does a great job of just getting in the vacancy of the defense and sitting it down. Very nice job, and the rest is all him. Yards after catch. This offense is based a lot on that. Although Daniels does a great job of driving the ball down the field, the yards after catch are so important, and you saw it there from Lawrence.
All right, if you see any reputable top 5 list for Heisman candidates that doesn't include Jalon Daniels, look away.
There's an issue.
Just look away. That list is meaningless. Jalon Daniels is proving to everyone who wants to know that he is a stud. Here's Hishaw, high-stepping it across the 40 to the 38. 12-yard gain for Daniel Hishaw.
Hishaw is so tired of getting tackled by his shoestrings. You see him, he's upset every single time because he's just an inch, a centimeter away from breaking a big one, and you can feel it.
12-yard gain on the play.
Kansas threatened right now to 1-possession game. Any points at all will make it a 2-possession game. On the outskirts of field goal range right now. 1st down and 10. Devin Neal back into the game. They fake it to Lachlan. Quarterback run. Look at Daniels go! Inside the 20.
This is what makes him so dangerous. We haven't seen it a bunch today, but he still has it in his bag. They just cover it, right? Duke does their job. They cover it. But there's nobody in the middle for the quarterback. And because he hasn't run in the passing game so much today, they haven't had to dedicate a spy, right? So they don't have someone sitting there watching him because they almost forgot about him as a runner in the passing game. And as soon as they forgot, he takes it down and sets up Kansas with another opportunity in the red zone.
He may get another 100-yard rushing game. Had it last week. He's at 80 right now. Quick hitter. And the tight end, Casey, can't make the play. Every once in a while, Casey strikes out. 2nd down and 10. That wasn't going to be an easy one. You had Shaka Hayward in coverage. Daniels with 311 yards passing, 80 yards running, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Really hadn't even flirted with a possible interception. And doing it in front of a sellout for the first time in his college career here in Lawrence. People are starting to believe. Neal. Took a while to get going. Play was blown up by Hayward, who got into the backfield. But Kansas is bleeding that clock. We're now under the 6-minute mark.
I think this is something that Kansas's team, Coach Leipold, they wanted to learn. Can we finish a game? I mean, they done a good job of coming back, but they haven't been in control of a game and then finish the game, right? They were in control of this game from the start. Can they continue to keep their pedal to the metal and finish it?
Duke has had a propensity for getting key turnovers so far this season. They need one here. Daniels. Caught down to the 3, and Skinner. Thirteen-yard gain.
How about Skinner, who's going on a post pattern, right? But he sees Shaka Hayward, and he shaved his route back to go get the ball and saves his quarterback because Shaka Hayward did all he can do in his hook-to-curl pass drop. What a combat catch. A catch where somebody's making contact with you at the same time. Skinner makes it look easy.
Kansas would love to score, but they probably don't want to score too quickly.
You always say that.
Daniels can't keep him out of the end zone. 5th touchdown accounted for Jalon Daniels. Stud. They have found something in Kansas.
He was player of the week last week, and I'm just telling you, there's another one coming. It looks like the ball's handed off, but no. Daniels into the end zone again. 5th overall touchdown, 4 through the air. He's really unleashed his legs here to finish this game. I mean, he has been exceptional.
Borchilla. You betcha. And the lead back up to 15. Uh-oh. Kansas basketball taking a back seat right now to that guy. Yeah, this is a Kansas team that I haven't seen too many warts. They lead Duke 35-20. Remember, Duke unbeaten on the year, and it's been impressive so far this season, but they've been shredded by Jalon Daniels and this Kansas Jayhawk offense. Daniels has accounted for all 5 touchdowns for Kansas, 4 through the air and 1 on the ground.
And it's all within the framework of the offense, which is most important. All of it came within the framework of the offense. There's no forced, hey, let's get him in the end zone type of thing that's going on here. I mean, this offense is explosive with him at the end.
Oh my. Heavy collision. Robertson down at the 30-yard line. It's time now for the Old Trapper Smoking Player of the Game, sponsored by Old Trapper. What's your beef?
No surprise here, right? 5 total touchdowns. Started with that one there. And this one was exceptional. I mean, this ball placement that this guy is exhibiting, right? Putting the ball in the hole between the safety and the corner. And then obviously in this fourth quarter, he's really started to put his legs on full display. I mean, how do you stop him? How do you stop him? You stack the box, he throws the ball. You get loose in the box, you don't leave a spy on him, he runs down in the middle of your defense.
It's not just the numbers he's putting up, it's just the way that he's playing, man. He passes every single test. Riley Leonard loads it up, fires deep. A little bit too strong, but a flag. You got Kalen Gervin in coverage on Moore, and that's going to go against Gervin.
And we talk so much about Daniels, but that'll be a perfect pass if there's no pass interference.
Pass interference. Defense, number 18. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Well, Riley Leonard doesn't have the touchdowns, and I wouldn't say he's been as good. He's been good. He's put the ball where he needs to go, and if he doesn't grab the receiver here and stop him from going to get this ball, that'll be a perfect pass and a long touchdown for Riley Leonard. Almost good that he pass interfered, because you don't want to give up a touchdown. Unlike the NFL, it's not a spot foul, right? It's a foul that's only 15 yards, and you saved your team 75-yard touchdown.
Leonard, short completion. Gervin makes a quick tackle on Moore this time. And now you see the urgency that Duke is playing with offensively.
It's been a quarterback clinic from both guys. I mean, Riley Leonard has been pinpoint accurate, and he was again accurate on that last throw.
2nd down and 6. Bounce pass. That was a Steve Wojciechowski bounce pass.
I mean, you always got to assume the ball slipped out of his hand, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
he's been so good all day. You don't see him bouncing dig routes at 10 yards to the receiver.
3rd down and 6.
He's been good in this situation, though.
Look at that. That's a man who is confident. Kansas showing pressure. They only bring 4. Leonard, safety valve is Waters, and he's upended. It is made Kobe Bryant. 4th down.
I mean, there was nothing there for Riley Leonard. Right, he had a dig to the top of the screen, 2 guys. Had a basic, 2 guys. He's got a vertical, 2 guys on him, and he has to go to the check down, and it's just not enough.
These Kansas corners, man. They like to come up on run support. 4th down and 3. This is it for Duke. Incomplete. Any flags? Yes. Multiple flags.
This is going to be pass interference on Dotson, I think.
Pass interference. Defense, number 3. Ball be placed in the spot of the foul, automatic first down.
Eric, I don't know. I don't like it. I think he was right on time. We got to take a look at this. Top of your screen right here. He's going to break on this ball, jumps over. Yeah, I think that's a bad call. That's another good play by Dotson, but it's called pass interference. That is a special play. He jumps over him and reaches around to get his hands in front before the ball gets there. Right as the ball's getting in, excuse me. I mean, that is a nice play, but a fortuitous play for Duke, who gets to keep the ball.
Still hope for the Blue Devils. Leonard! goes down. Lonnie Phelps.
Man, we talked to the staff about Lonnie Phelps and how he was trying to replace Kyron Johnson, who's now playing linebacker for the Eagles, right? A pass rusher specialist, and he gets on the edge and makes a play here in a big spot.
2nd and 17, nothing there. And a vicious lick. Oh, good. That's Jordan Moore, who just was victimized by the Malachi crunch.
Powder came from the other side. I mean, they may take a look at this. It was not necessarily high. Defensive receiver is something they're going to look at. Hopefully that Moore is okay.
Just an incomplete pass a moment ago to Jordan Moore, but Moore paid the price, Devin.
Oh, without question. Powder comes from the other side and lowers the boom there. And so what you want to look at, is he defenseless? Yes. Right? But is the contact with the helmet? No. And is it above the head or neck area? I don't think so. Right underneath the armpit. So it's a legal hit and just a tough, hard-nosed football play.
So Moore's not on the field right now, had to leave. 3rd down and 17. Clearly 4-down territory for Duke. Running out of time. Leonard. Trying to get everything he can. And that's enough for the 1st down. How about that? On 3rd and 17, Leonard uses his legs to keep the game alive for Duke.
Remember, we talked about it. He's a guy that can do that. Superior athlete in high school. He did basketball, high jump, long jump, all the most athletic things, and he can pass.
To the end zone. Touchdown, Jalen Calhoun. And don't go to sleep on Duke. They still think they're in it.
And he can pass. This sophomore quarterback is good. Just a go route once again, and the throw is perfect. It's perfect. The defender can't even respond. Man, this has been a quarterback clinic on both sides.
All right, here's a vital, absolutely vital extra point attempt. Charlie Ham. All right, so the game continues. 1 possession game. Duke down by 8, still with a ton of time. 2 minutes, 40 seconds. Duke has all 3 timeouts remaining.
Once again, the ball put in a perfect position for a receiver, either team, to make a play. The defense has been very good by these defensive backs. They've been in position, but the pinpoint accuracy from these quarterbacks, and the latest addition, adoration, is from Riley Leonard on this play to Calhoun. Now, can Duke find a way to get a stop? That's what's important here. They've got all 3 of their timeouts, but they just haven't been able to corral Daniels, Hishaw, Neal in the running game. And with 2:40 left, you're probably going to start using your timeouts early and hope to stop them, but it's tough, right? Just because I think that Coach Leipold and that coaching staff, they trust Daniels to put the ball in the air as well, knowing that he doesn't want to have incomplete pass, so they're going to give him nice, easy throws to make. Let's see what Duke does and see if they can find a way to create one of those turnovers that they've created in past games.
Yeah, the reason Mike Elko is calling the shots with the Duke Blue Devils is because of his work at a number of different high-level spots as a defensive coordinator. He is now trying to come up with something defensively to stop Kansas. Oh, a little short kick. They didn't really need to do that, but they chose to do it anyway. All right, I guess no problem. So it's going to be Kansas ball with really good starting field possession. 1st down and 10, great starting field position for Kansas, and the tackle's made at the 50-yard line. That's Devin Neal, and the clock is stopped. So no gain. Kansas already 1-0 in Big 12 play. They took down West Virginia in Morgantown 2 weeks ago. 2nd down and 10. Daniels, the quarterback. Again, nothing there. 2 consecutive plays have not netted a yard for Kansas. And Duke using their 2nd timeout.
So because of that short kick that went out of bounds, the field is essentially already flipped, if you will. So when they get a chance, if they don't choose to try to get this 1st down, if they don't get it when they punt, they'll already back Duke up The question here is, do you try to throw the ball and risk an incompletion and allow Duke to save one of their timeouts? Or do you say, hey, they'll just have one timeout, 85 yards to go, or whatever the case may be, so we're going to give our talented quarterback a chance to put the ball in the air and knowing that he could possibly make a great decision and get the first down?
I think if you get a quarterback who's on a run like
he's throwing if I'm a coach, it's a pass play.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Defense, you're going to have to bow your necks if we don't get it.
3rd down and 10. Conservative. Neal barrels forward for 3. It's now 4th down.
I mean, myself personally, I would have given my quarterback a chance to go get that first down, but I can understand the reasoning here.
I say win a game when you get a chance to win a game, but I've never been paid to make those big-time decisions.
Yeah.
All right, so Kansas is going to punt the football away. Vernon's had a nothing day. It's his first punt.
It's his first punt.
It's his first punt, 2:22 remaining. Hopefully he's no sweat in the palms. Spinning kick.
What?
Oh, my goodness. A fair catch at the 5.
It'll be a 95-yard drive.
Oh. All right, Reese Vernon, you've earned your keep. One kick all day long, and it's a beauty. Fair catch at the 5-yard line, and Duke has got the entire field to look at if they want to keep this game alive. 1st down and 10, ball's at the 95. Duke, they need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Great start. This is Calhoun out across the 50. It was Jalen Calhoun who caught that fair catch at the 5 a moment ago, where maybe someone raised an eyebrow, but he's just atoned.
Welcome back. I said it just before. You have the guy to do it. Riley Leonard, I mean, throwing an absolute strike, going along the same way he's played all day, and Calhoun atones for that terrible decision in the punt game.
40 big ones for Calhoun.
And gets out of bounds to boot.
Leonard. That's some pretty good Zuzu. Oh, and Potter got him late.
Oh, my.
Gavin Potter got him late. That'll be an extra 15.
Wow.
After the play, personal foul. Late hit out of bounds, defense number 18.
So 5-yard gain plus the 15 yards. It's a plus 20. And the Duke Blue Devils are cooking with gas right now. They've got the ball at the 34-yard line. 60 yards, first 2 plays of this drive. They have no timeouts, but they've got an eternity left on that game clock. Leonard. Is that deflected? Looking for his tight end, Del Mullen.
If I'm Riley Leonard, I am not throwing in the direction of Kobe Bryant. He burned Texas a year ago. He burned West Virginia earlier this year. If there's an out route to the Kobe Bryant number 2 in that red or crimson, whatever they want to call it, don't do it. Get the ball somewhere else, because he's been known to burn guys. And if so, you want to go that way, I'd go double move, and it could be a touchdown.
Double move. Right now, Bryant is in front of Pankel. Leonard, little dump down. Nothing there at all.
He would have been better dropping that.
Robertson with the catch, short gain. Clock will continue to move.
It's easier said than done. You know, you tell a guy, oh, if you would have dropped that, it would have been better because it's a minimal gain. But you can't. Your kid is not just going to drop the ball.
Craig Young has to leave. Barely got off the field. Uh-oh. That catch is made, but it's 4th down. As again, a very short gain. And now the game is on the line for Duke. They don't have a timeout. They can't think about it. They do have a bunch of time on that play clock, but they've got to get this first down or the game's over.
I would go out and up for the game versus Kobe Bryant. I would go out and up for the game versus Kobe Bryant at the bottom of your screen.
They need to get to the 23-yard line. Incomplete! They were looking in the direction of Kobe Bryant, and Bryant does his thing.
Kobe Bryant continues on the way he's played the last few weeks.
Kansas holds on. Now they just need to take a couple of snaps, avoid disaster, and they're going to go to 4-0. And the entire country is going to start screaming about the play of their quarterback, Jalon Daniels. They'll need to do it again.
Wow. When we talked to the coaching staff, they talked so glowingly about Jalon Daniels and how he really didn't ever get a fair shake. And they thought they had something, but they couldn't ever get quite a good look at it and see what they had. And his personality wasn't something that they thought would be conducive to success and being able to be a leader on the team. And they said, now the personality he has is perfect for leadership. He's in it with everybody. Everybody believes in him. Everybody loves him. And it's not just because it's play on the field. He's in the building watching film extra all the time and not trying to be the look at me guy. And all his hard work is being put on full display.
Last 2 games, Jalon Daniels has accounted for 10 total touchdowns. And Kansas, they're 4-0 for the first time in 13 years.